Well, the groundhog did say spring was on the way, right? But I don't think we're going to get our hopes up yet, even though this week is looking pretty good.
Yeah, the calendar still says it's winter, and winter is soup season.
Here was some delicious options. Chef Cory Guyer with U.S. Foods. Always good to have you here, Cory.
We love having you
I think
here.
this is your
Thank
first
you.
visit for 2016, isn't it?
It is. It is. I've got many more that we've got scheduled, so I'm pretty excited about this year.
Good.
We're going to
We're
have a lot
glad
of
to
fun.
have you.
Something that I love, just as like a decent home cook, is what you bring in by way of like technique and education. It's not just like, here, make this. We're learning with you. So what do you want to teach us today?
Well, you know, first of all, as being a food fanatic chef for U.S. Foods, I have the opportunity to share that distinction with 40 other chefs all across the country. So what does that mean? That means that I get to work with over 250,000 restaurants and have my fingers into that pipeline of knowledge and techniques and things along those
You're
lines and
influencing
bringing
their
things trend
menus.
forward.
You bring ideas
Absolutely.
to a lot of those restaurant owners.
Absolutely. And a lot of times we have a lot of questions asking about, hey, what can we do with some of the leftovers? What can we do with some of these things to kind of build our menus and grow up a little bit?
Do not waste at restaurants. Right? That's one of the
Absolutely.
keys. You're making soup for us today. What do you
We
make?
are.
What kind of
The
soup
aroma.
is this?
So
Had to
this
get
that
it
we've
sneaky.
got going, I actually have 3 soups. The recipes are going to be on your website.
Yep.
If you would like more recipes and ideas, you can always go to our award-winning magazine, foodfanatics.com. There's a tremendous amount of recipes and ideas there. So this soup that we have is going to be a very simple chicken tortilla. So
One of my favorite soups, by the way.
Good.
Love chicken tortilla.
So one of the things that I like about soup is, number one, if you can think of it, you can make soup out of it. You want sushi to be soup?
Seriously?
All sushi is vinegared rice. Things served with it. Miso broth, vinegared rice, vegetables, maybe some nori sheets toasted and crinkled up over top. You can make a sushi soup.
Is this a traditional type of tortilla?
This is a little bit less traditional. This one, what I've done is I've added a mirepoix to it. So that's one thing that I kind of wanted to talk about as far as what the foundation of soup is. Mirepoix helps with that. So when we make soups, we want to build and layer flavors.
So you started this one. You didn't just pour broth into the
No,
skillet.
no, this it actually kind of goes through some steps.
And
Now-
all of that's in the recipe on our
Yes,
website.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So we've got carrots, we've got onions, we've got celery, which is your basic mirepoix mix. We've also got chicken broth. You can use a low sodium, low fat if you're looking for a healthier option like we talked about earlier. And one of the things that I really love about this is the freshness of what it is.
Yeah, and you can smell it too. I mean, even before you take a
Yeah.
single sip of it, you know it's going to be good.
So one thing that I like to do, especially with my broth-based soups, because now we can create a conversation. We can take fresh herbs. Mary,
Yeah.
if you'd like to take the fresh parsley.
Are you wanting me to put them in the skillet?
Well, I want you to put them in the soup bowl.
I'm putting the parsley in the bowl. Okay.
Absolutely. Now
then?
we're going to go with the chicken. We're going to put that in there.
Oh, this is the restaurant stuff that you
And
guys
the chicken
do.
has already been pre-cooked.
Yep,
It
it's
is
already
cooked
been
chicken.
pre-cooked. We're going to take some tortilla chips.
And you just want me to put these right on top?
I want you to put those right in there. And then, do you like a little acidity?
Yes.
Let's squeeze
Absolutely.
a little fresh lime in.
There you go,
Okay.
Mayor.
And just squeeze it right on top of the chips?
Squeeze it right on top of the chips.
Where else would you squeeze it?
Well, Mike,
I mean, the chips
In
are
your-
right
in the
there, Mayor.
broth.
in your eyes, maybe. I don't know. Okay.
So,
Okay.
what we've done is we've added a lot of very fresh flavors
Yeah.
that we haven't really cooked outside of the chicken.
Yeah.
So, Mike, do you want to ladle some of this broth directly into here?
You betcha.
And
On
what
top
this is
of the
going to
chips,
do,
Mike.
Yes, on the
top of the
chips.
chips. So what this is going to do is that hot broth now hits the lime, it hits the chicken, heats it up.
Oh, it
also hits
activates all the
cilantro.
flavors.
So when you're thinking fresh herbs going into a soup, don't put fresh herbs in while the soup is cooking.
Really?
What does
Put
that
them
do
in
to
at
it when
the
you do
end.
that?
Well, one thing with leaves contain chlorophyll.
Yeah.
And when you overcook it, it can actually extract a little bitterness into your soups or sauces.
I'll tell you what, when I make nana zugu, right, I put in the sweet
Can I
basil
try
right
that?
toward the end of the recipe. Of the
Am I allowed to grab
Absolutely. Grab a
Do you have
spoon, give it a
preference?
try.
Do you have a preference which spoon I use?
That one right there.
Oh my gosh. Mike, doesn't that look
It
great?
looks really good. Yeah, it looks really
okay,
good.
and so just leave it the way it is. Can I stir it up
You
a little
can
bit?
stir
and
it
get
up.
some
You
of-
can. This
Try
is
that. And
your
while
soup.
she's
You
diving
can
in
do
that,
whatever you
you're
want.
taking part in art and soup, and you're making one of the soups. Is this the soup that you're making?
This is not the one
Okay,
that I'm
what are you making
making.
for that?
I'm actually going to be making, and the
gosh.
recipe is posted online. The one that I'm going to be making is a roasted Gouda and smoked corn, or I'm sorry, roasted corn chowder.
Is that what that is right there?
That is this one right here.
That looks
So
really, really
your basic ingredients, you've got bacon, you've got potatoes, you've got Gouda, you've also got the mirepoix.
Yeah.
There's a little cream, so it's not the healthiest soup for you.
But it's an award winner,
it's
Chef
delicious.
this is an
Guyer.
award
Let me
winner.
look
I
that
did
up.
win.
Brag
in-
about it a little bit.
in,
okay.
I believe it was 2002. It was about 14 years ago. I went and did this, and at that time, I
looks
want to say there were around 30 to 40 different restaurants that were there.
Wow, and you beat them all.
I won with
that
this
recipe.
one. So I'm going to give it another go this year.
And I love that you're sharing it with our viewers. You're not trying to hide your recipe from the other chefs in the competition.
There's no secrets.
Make it at home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, is this available to be eaten right now? Or does this just look pretty for TV?
It is cold. It is still delicious. So
I will eat it.
Please give it a
I
try.
will eat this cold because it looks good even
I want to
cold.
ask you about Art and Soup. And I know it's
Yeah.
not the only event that you do throughout the year, but why is it important for you to get involved in US Foods?
It's really important because it gives back to the community. I mean, you kind of touch base a little bit as far as local artists, local restaurants, a local charity, and really giving back to the community. With US Foods, we donate all the bowls, we donate the spoons, we donate the napkins, and we're also going to be doing a dessert table there as well.
Oh.
So for me, it's more important to be able to give and allow the money that's raised to be given to the charity. And if US Foods, if we can be a big part of that, we really want to do that.
Yeah, you guys do a great job. This soup is fantastic. Even
This
if it's
soup
cold.
is fantastic.
Even cold.
No, it's absolutely delicious cold.
This is amazing.
I can see why
love
it's
this.
award winning.
Good,
Hey,
thank
we
you.
see here, I see Food Fanatic Chef, Food Fanatics there. You mentioned it earlier. What does it mean to be a food fanatic? Kind of an elite group. What does it mean to you?
Well, as a Food Fanatic chef, we went through a pretty rigorous application process, going through online interviews, in-person video interviews, and then they took us to Chicago. We call it Food Fanatics University, and they took us through an intensive week-long training, culinary, communication, and consultation. So what we do is we are the face of the Food Fanatics program. So again, we really drive the magazine, we drive the website. We're really looking to put food trend forward and helping restaurants kind of grow and build their exposure out to the public.
Yeah, and that's foodfanatics.com
Yep.
for people that are interested in that.
Absolutely.
How long have you always been interested in food?
I have. I started in restaurants when I was 14 years old. I'm 44 years old right now. So
30
no
years. That's
secrets about
easy
that.
math.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I've always loved food. Soup has always been one of those things that in all the restaurants that I've worked at, that was kind of my thing. That was my baby. So that was something that I really paid a lot of attention to and gave a lot of focus.
Well, then let's talk about the third star of the
Excellent.
morning.
So,
what is this?
French onion soup. Everybody's
We know
familiar with
that,
French onion
yeah.
soup, right? This is
Don't spill it.
Irish beer soup, or an Irish onion soup. So we're still using onions. We've got red onions, shallots, white onions, and yellow onions.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold this above the
Okay.
the up camera up there so they can get a shot.
We're using a little bit of,
Spill it in
Sorry,
the
I
other
spilled it in the
soup.
that's quite all right. We're
mixing
using a little
flavors
bit
today.
of beef demi and
Yeah.
a beef broth. Now, in French onion soup, you're primarily using a little bit of white wine. I've used an Irish beer.
Oh my! And what does that do to the flavor, Chef?
So that kind of changes the flavor.
whole
Adds a little bit
thing.
more earthiness
Yeah.
to it. There's a little bit of sweetness that comes out of that accentuates the onions as well. The other thing too is what's traditionally with French onion, the crouton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've added a smashed potato.
That's what is inside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
then instead of Parmesan and a little Gruyere or Swiss cheese,
Ooh.
I've used white cheddar.
right on top. And
Nice
you
another
bake that,
thing-
you bake that first, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing that we can do, we've got fried Brussels sprouts. So if we want to add one of those items that's very on trend and is also incredibly healthy for you, we can sprinkle a little bit of fried Brussels sprouts on there. If you want to steam them, chop them up, and add
So
those for that
good.
healthier aspect, it just lends another dimension to the soup.
Again, foodfanatics.com for all the recipes that US Foods has to learn more about Chef Guyer and all the good things over at US Foods. And then you can go to our website too. I think you gave those
Yes.
recipes for these three soups.
Absolutely.
We're going to put those on our website, omahamorningblend.com, so you can write them down. And that soup, the
Try
gouda,
it.
is that what
Sunday.
it was?
If you're going to Art and
Corn?
Soup,
Fantastic.
try his soup on Sunday. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you very
Great to
much.
see
I
you.
appreciate it.
We
Always
appreciate
nice
having
to
you
see
here.
you.
I'm predicting a victory this weekend.
I thank
Oh,
you,
boy.
Mike. I need your vote.
Really bold. Okay,
Thanks,
do
buddy.
you have a sports fan in your life who loves